My name is Heather Ashley Jones. I am an intuitive teacher, and I teach people how to get answers in seconds. But for today, we're going to talk about pain because pain is a paycheck, baby, and you've been lied to about what pain actually is. Because when you realize the truth, how powerful you are, when you realize that you have access to the most powerful instrument in the entire world, which is you, okay, it's going to change your entire life. So my plan is to spend the next 45 minutes to teach you how to understand the truth, not only about pain, but how to get answers in seconds. Because when you realize that you've been taught to outsource your truth, that you've been taught to ignore your intuition, and you guys, there are hundreds of thousands of people suffering in silence right now. There's hundreds of thousands of people wondering, why me? Why am I still in pain? Why is nobody listening to me? Nobody cares, right? I was that person. So I suffered with debilitating chronic pain for over 10 years. And on top of that debilitating pain, I suffered with childhood trauma, emotional trauma, spiritual trauma, religious trauma. And I didn't realize, you guys, that my pain that I felt every single day was silently killing me. So you guys buckle up, make sure you follow me, get my free guide as we follow along with this system, because this system will change your life. It took me 10 years, thousands of dollars in certifications to realize this one truth. I always had the answers within me. Everything that I was seeking outside of myself, validation, worth, credibility, love, I already had access to it and an abundance of it. But I didn't realize it until I realized this one truth, what pain actually is. Most people are teaching you so many cool, wonderful things, but it's not the truth, or it's just partial truth. So I'm going to teach you all the truth today, and that's why it's called the Truth Code System. So let's go. First, I'm going to talk to you like you're a third grader, okay? Because by small and simple things, great things come to pass. And if a child can't understand it, then it's not okay, right? So I don't know if you knew this, but Jesus talked to people like children, right? He taught them stories. He showed them by example. So that's how I'm going to talk to you. Because when you understand this truth, it's going to change your life. So first, I want to explain to you who you are. Because most people have forgotten who they are. Now, first of all, you come from a very, very powerful creator who gave you the ability to not only know what is wrong with you, but how to heal yourself for free. And you have come with the most powerful instrument in the world, which is you. You are more powerful than any supercomputer that's ever been created. You are more powerful than any diagnostic medical tool that's been created. You have access to more information than any AI. And you're possessing it, you're in possession of it right now. Now, most of you guys have been taught to disassociate from your body, right? You've been taught lies about your body, that your body is the problem, that pain is bad, that you need to silence pain as fast as you can, right? Lies, lies, lies. So first, your body is an instrument, okay? Some people call it a temple, but it's an instrument, and it speaks to you. And the only way your body can speak to you is through pain, okay? So let me give you an example. I want you to imagine that somebody gave you $1 million Lamborghini. Beautiful, custom, decked out Lamborghini. Now, as you're driving down the road in this beautiful Lamborghini, all of a sudden a warning signal comes on. Now, I know for a fact that you are going to pull over and figure out what that warning signal is, right? You're not going to ignore it. You're not going to tape it up. You're not going to pretend if I just don't look at it, it's going to go away. And I also know that you're not going to take that Lamborghini to a gas station and go into the gas station and buy a whole bunch of random products and shove it down the gas can, hoping that that warning signal is going to disappear. Because once again, you would never do that because you would be afraid that I'm going to destroy the engine of my vehicle, right? And it's going to be broken. But more than 95% of people do this every day with their vehicle, right? We ignore the warning signal, which is pain. We pretend like it doesn't exist. If we just push it down, it's going to disappear. And then a lot of us go into the grocery store, right? And we buy random products and we shove them down our throat, hoping and praying that that warning signal, pain, is going to go away. This is why 95% of people are broke down on the side of the road, suffering, going, why? Why me? Why is this happening to me? because you've been taught to ignore pain, you've been taught to ignore your signal, and you're putting garbage in your body, hoping and praying that the signal goes away. That will never, ever work. Now, I want to tell you, most people are insane. Do you want to know how? Do you know how I came up with this conclusion? Because most people are doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That's the literal definition of insanity. Now, I know for a fact you are not insane. You've been lied to. They want you to think you're insane. So the educational system, the wealth system, and the health system is a lie. It is literally it's a $1 trillion cage that was meant to keep you sick, and you are the cash cow, and all they want to do is profit off of you. They want to keep you dumb and stupid and disassociated from the most powerful instrument in the world. Hello, Anfield. So now that you understand that your body's an instrument, your body also speaks to you, okay? The language is pain. Do you know that every time you ask a question, any yes or no question, your body physically responds? So we're going to talk about pain because once you understand the truth about pain, okay, this is going to set you free, because it doesn't matter how much money you have in the world. If you are in pain and you are not happy, money isn't going to solve your problems, okay? How do I know this? I worked with multimillionaires. I worked with supermodels, and they were some of the most miserable people in the world. Why? Because they had pain. Now, pain isn't always physical, okay? And I'm going to prove it to you. Most people, we're going to talk about these 6 signals, these 6 keys, okay? I call them keys for this live. We're going to call them signals, like car signals. So once you understand what the signals are, you can fix them, okay? Hey, everyone. You guys, thank you so much for following, tapping those heart buttons while I talk, because it's going to get this information to other people who are suffering in silence. So thank you for sharing and hitting those hearts. So let's talk about signal number 1. Now, 95% of people think that pain is physical, right? My head hurts, must be physical. My back hurts, must be physical. My shoulder hurts, must be physical. I have cancer, Hashimoto's, weight gain, anxiety, depression, plantar fasciitis. My eyes hurt, right? My teeth hurt, must be physical. What if I told you that that is the biggest lie and the biggest scam that millions of people believe? But I'm going to prove you wrong, and I'm going to teach about these 5 silent killers. No matter how many doctors you go to, no matter how many labs or diagnostic testing, they will never be able to test these 5 silent killers. And most of you guys have all of them, okay? So you guys ready to understand the truth about pain? Because once you understand what pain is, then you can clear it using the truth code system. So if the pain is physical, and I'm not talking about getting in a car accident, breaking your back, thanks for getting your digging heart, Sammy. I'm not talking about your back being broken from a car accident or you walking and tripping in a pothole, right? We know why there's physical pain. I'm talking about the physical pain that comes out of nowhere, right? If your body's physical pain is physical, it's going to be parasites, toxins, or nutrient deficiencies. You guys write this down. Get my free guide if you haven't. Make sure you follow me. This information will change your life. If you do not know how to get answers in seconds, you are not free. That is your birthright. It is your ability to be able to do this. Physical. Now, in at least the United States, we are taught to treat the rotten apples. So if you are a beautiful tree and you have rotten apples, write that down. If you have rotten apples everywhere, we are taught to make the apples look pretty. Fix the apples, right? What happens if you just fix the apples? The tree's going to produce more rotten fruit. So we are all walking around with rotten fruit thinking, oh, what's the problem? Because you got to get to the root of the problem. And the root of physical pain is parasites, toxins, or nutrient deficiencies. Now, I'm going to have you guys put on your critical thinking hats, because most of us, the day we were born, were taught to take off our critical thinking hats, right? We were taught to just obey, listen to me. I'm the teacher. I'm the boss. It's my way or the highway. Shut up, be quiet. You are here to be seen, not heard. So I want you to put that hat back on. If your hand was cut open, do you need to give your hand permission to heal itself? Yes or no? No. Your body is fully capable of healing itself on its own. But if your body does need something, if your body does need something, it's going to tell you through pain, because pain is what? It's a signal. So If your body doesn't have what it needs, like nutrients, right, it's going to tell you because the cut isn't going to heal properly. There might get an infection. There might be a problem. So your body's going to say, hey, I need a little help here. Parasites, toxins, nutrient deficiencies. If your body has that, too many parasites, too many toxins, it's going to ask you for help. Because to be honest, your body knows how to purge toxins. It knows how to purge parasites. But when it becomes overloaded, it needs help. Now, let's go back to the Lamborghini example. If you're driving down a Lamborghini and a warning signal comes on saying, I need more gas, right? We're going to go give it more gas. Our body is like a Lamborghini, but it's more powerful. It's going to give us pain signals that says, hey, this is what I need. And when you give a vehicle what it needs, it runs on its own, right? All right. So now that we understand what pain could be and the root cause of pain, which, by the way, in America, we don't believe parasites are real, right? Because we are the most promised land. Sorry, guys. You guys all have to deal with parasites but us because we're Americans. That's the biggest lie too, right? In fact, probably more Americans have more parasites than any other country because at least in other countries, they're aware of parasites, right? In fact, most schools don't let kids go into their school unless their kids do parasite cleanses. We don't do that in America. Yeah, the USA is sterile, right? So again, you don't have to guess when it comes to what I'm teaching you because your body is the most powerful self-diagnostic tool. Or the UK, you guys don't do that in the UK either. Yeah, so you guys, your body is the most powerful instrument. So you actually don't need to go to the doctors to test parasites, toxins, or nutrient deficiencies. You can actually use your body to ask. Okay, and I teach you that in the Truth Code system. So let's go to the 5 silent killers. These are so important because can I tell you something? Most clients that I work with one-on-one, their physical pain has nothing to do with the physical issue. It's one of these 5 silent killers. Okay, and these 5 silent killers, they do not have a face, meaning that I work with normal looking people every day, doctors, chiropractors, right? Good moms, dads, family members. And you would never know by looking at them that they are suffering in pain. The first one, emotional trauma. Every single one of you guys, I know for a fact, has experienced some type of trauma growing up, whether that was physical trauma, sexual trauma, spiritual trauma, or religious trauma. Most of us have all experienced some level of trauma. Now, we've been lied to and we've been told that once you experience trauma, right, the past is in the past. We've also been lied to that it takes months, years of therapy to heal trauma. We've also been told to silence our trauma with painkillers. When you silence your pain, you silence your truth. And if you do not heal your trauma, it will manifest as physical chronic symptoms. Okay? Depression is a signal. Depression is a signal. Okay? So if you want to know why you have depression, then you need to understand what are the 6 signals. Is it physical? Is there a nutrient deficiency causing it? Are there parasites causing it? Are there toxins? Could be. Next signal, is there some emotional trauma you haven't dealt with? Kidney disease is a signal. So you guys, before we go any further, let me explain this to you, right? If a car gives you a signal, it doesn't mean it needs gas all the time, right? It's going to tell you exactly what it needs. So for example, if your car gives you a signal and you just keep putting gas in the tank and it actually needs oil, you're going to end up broke down on the side of the road. And you're going to be like, I don't understand. I was putting gas in my car. Well, that's not what your body needed. Now, in the beginning, that warning signal was just a warning signal, right? Like I'm okay without it, but I'm eventually going to need it. But what slowly happens is when you run out of oil, things start to slowly break down, right? At first, it was a headache, right? Then it turned into excruciating migraines. Then it turned into, oh my gosh, I have Hashimoto's or cancer or POTS, right? It didn't start out that way. The engine didn't just break down and now you have a huge diagnosis. There were slow signals. So we want to get to the root, right? So the root of the car engine breaking down actually started by just needing a little bit of oil, right? Our bodies maybe just need a little bit of nutrients or an emotional clearing. Does this make sense? Okay. So again, if you guys do not know how to get answers in seconds, like why is my body in pain? How do I heal it? You are not free. And you were put on this earth to be free. That is your birthright to be able to do this. So I teach people how to get answers in seconds. I teach people how to understand what pain is, because once you understand what pain is, you guys, pain is a paycheck. It'll make more sense when I go into spiritual mastery. So let's talk about it. When I was 4 years old, okay, this is when a lot of my trauma started. Physical abuse, sexual abuse, spiritual and religious trauma. By the time I was 7 years old, I knew more things than most adults knew. Okay, my innocence was violated. I was totally aware of things that no 7-year-old should understand, nor did I understand, right? And so when a child is exposed to adult things, it messes us up. Now, we don't know it messed us up, right? Because we're children. So you spend the entirety of your life thinking that you're the problem. I'm unworthy. I'm not good enough. And when I tell you that those things that go unresolved will manifest into chronic symptoms, and then you're going to go to the doctors complaining of these physical symptoms, and they're going to tell you that there is nothing wrong with you, but you're going to go home in pain, right? Yeah. Thank you for getting your daily heart, D. All right, let's talk about the second signal. Now, before I go into the second signal, I want to see how many of you guys have 5 for 5, 4 for 5, 3 for 5, 2 for 5, or 1 for 5. So how many of you guys know for a fact you have emotional trauma? There is some unresolved trauma that you experienced from the age of 0 to 25. Okay, if this is you, put a 1 for a 1. And I need you to understand this. You can heal your trauma in minutes. Look at all these ones. Catherine, Cassandra, the China doll, Kathy, Tenacious, Queenie. You guys, you can heal your trauma in minutes. It doesn't take thousands of dollars. Okay, it takes minutes. The truth about healing trauma is that you have to go back in time and save yourself. I'm going to say that one more time. You have to go back in time and save yourself. Now, I teach you exactly how to do this in the Truth Code system, but you know exactly what you need. Nobody else knows what you need. Nobody experienced what you experienced. Okay? So the only person that's going to save you is you. And I teach you exactly how to do this. So when I was being abused, right, I needed safety. I needed peace. I needed love. And because I didn't get that, I sought for it outside of myself. Relationships that were horrible, right? Somehow I always attracted the narcissist or the horrible guy who treated me horrible. I let people walk all over me, including family members, right? Because I didn't know my worth and I didn't know my value. And it wasn't until I realized this truth about pain, that my inner child's pain was actually causing the relationships, the family members to walk all over me. It was actually manifesting physically. Until I went back and I saved myself, I told her the truth. You will not let anybody walk all over you. You are going to take your power back, your innocence, your truth. You're going to be fully seen and fully heard, right? And I taught my younger self the truth about what she experienced. And here's the thing most people don't understand. Your mind does not know the difference between it, you seeing it in real life and you seeing it in your mind. You guys, this is how we save ourselves. And it's free. It doesn't cost any money to do this. And it is your birthright. You've been lied to. You've been lied to the day you were born. And it stops today. Okay? We all have this power. And I'm going to make sure that every single person that I come in contact with knows this. You guys ready for the second signal? Let's go. All right. Generational trauma. Generational trauma. Did you know, how many of you guys knew this, by the way, that you can be affected by trauma that your great-great-great-grandfather experienced, your great-great-great-grandmother experienced? How many of you guys knew this? Do you know that you can have fear, phobias, sicknesses, diseases passed down from 5 to 10 generations? This has been proven, by the way. Okay, scientists have proven this. So the next time you feel sick, have anxiety, have depression, have fears, have phobias, guess what? It could actually be inherited. it could actually be inherited. Okay? So some generational traumas we can see with our eyes, right? Some families we can see the generational things that are getting passed down, whether that is narcissism or scarcity of money, maybe religious programming or belief systems that are like cuckoo, right? Some things we can see with our eyes, the family distortion. But some things we cannot see. Some things are hidden, right? And if this is true, then we want to be able to figure that out, right? So again, you're going to go to the doctors with generational trauma. You're going to say, hey, I feel sick. I have anxiety. I have depression. I have weight gain. I have all these things. Nothing seems to work. And they're going to say, there's actually nothing physically wrong with you. Interesting, because I'm suffering in pain right now. Sorry, we can give you a painkiller. That's all we can do for you. So again, silent killer, doesn't have a face. No diagnostic lab will test this, but they've proven it's real. So let me ask you, who's 2 for 2? We can heal from the inside. Yes, we can. Everything's from within. Everything. Ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door will be opened unto you, right? Seek ye first the kingdom and all the riches will be given unto you. So who's 2 for 2? Generational trauma and emotional trauma. Now, I can tell you I come from a strong line of soldier men, okay? Most every single one in every generation of my family served and fought in war. And when I tell you that that type of trauma looks like addiction, it looks like abuse, it looks like silencing, it looks like severe trauma. Imagine a man who serves in a war and comes home and is not able to express that trauma, is told to shut up and be quiet, and if you cry, you're not anything, you're not a man. Imagine the amount of women who have so much grief because their innocence was violated over and over and over again, and they were told to keep that shame to yourself. How many women have experienced excruciating trauma at the hands of abusers, and they were told to keep their mouth shut, or it wasn't that bad, or you should forgive? So my female line, we have lots of the abuse. So it stops with you. The generational trauma stops with you. How does it stop with you? Because you have to understand that pain is communication. You have to understand that your body is screaming at you, telling you this is not mine. We have to clear it. Okay? So 2 for 2. We have a lot. Okay, let's go to the third one. Third one. Absorbed energy. Do you know you can take on other people's energy? Or fight for your marriage things? Yep. Communication is shut down from the beginning. Yep. You guys, how many of you guys can feel energy? Whether that's good energy, bad energy. How many of you guys go to work every day and you come home absolutely obliterated because of the exhaustion of the energy exchange that's happening all day? Handshake, fist bumps, all fake. Yeah? Do you know that you can literally sit down next to someone and have no clue, and you can actually take this person's energy home with you? I hate meeting men because energy goes instantly. Oh, so I'm glad you're aware of this, because when you become aware of something, then you can fix it and you can change it, right? So you guys, I didn't know from my entire childhood to the age of 31 that I was taking on everybody's energy, that people are sucking the energy, and I was actually absorbing energy. So again, pain is communication. Pain is communication. So you have to understand what pain is so you can fix it, right? So if you get a headache out of nowhere, shoulder pain out of nowhere, back pain out of nowhere, exhaustion, fatigue, depression out of nowhere, guess what? It could be absorbed energy. And your body's screaming at you, telling you this is not mine. And guess what you're taught to do? Silence it. So how many have 3 for 3? Silent killers. Emotional trauma, generational trauma, and absorbed energy. Now let me tell you a really quick story. 3 for 3. Queenie's already preparing for the 4th. She's like, I already know I have the 4th too. You guys, all it takes is one absorbed energy to cause you physical chronic pain. Imagine getting a little splinter and ignoring it. What happens after weeks, months, years? That one little tiny splinter can manifest into a life or death situation. That's the same thing that can happen with one absorbed energy that's not yours. Just one. One emotional trauma, one generational trauma, one absorbed energy, if it goes untreated, can turn into a broken down engine, right? If you don't just give a car oil, that's it, just oil, over a period of time, it's going to break down. Your body will do the same thing. Hey, Jennifer, my queen. All right, so we got some 3 for 3s. So let's just recap really quickly. I've just proven to you that 95% of pain is not physical. It could be emotional. It could be generational. It can be absorbed energy. Yet 95% of people think that their pain has something physical, right? So let me ask you this. How many vitamins, minerals, detoxes, supplements are going to fix emotional trauma? How many? Put it in the comments. How many vitamins, minerals, supplements, detoxes, anything physical going to fix generational trauma? How many detox, cleanses, vitamins, minerals, doctor's appointments are going to fix absorbed energy? Yet 95% of people are doing all the things right physically. They're exercising, they're eating healthy, they're doing all the things, and they're still overweight. They still have cancer, they still have depression, they still have anxiety, right? They're still sick. Why? Because you can't fix a silent killer with something physical. And you can try over and over and over and over again. And guess what? I'm going to call you a crazy person. That's insane. Because if you do the same thing over and over again, accepting a different result, that's insanity. And they got us believing that's the only way. Lies, lies upon lies upon lies, okay? So here's the truth. You can get answers in seconds, what your pain is and how to fix it in seconds, and it's free. It is your birthright, it is your gift. What happens when all the people in the world understand this one truth? The entire system collapses. The entire made up, false, trillion-billion-dollar industry that profits off of you because you're a cash cow, zip, destroyed. This is why this is so important. All right, who's ready for the 4th signal? And drop a 3 in the comments if you have emotional trauma, absorbed energy, and generational trauma, or generational, emotional, absorbed energy. 3 for 3. Now, let me tell you guys, LOL, 3 for 3, 3, 3, 3. Let me tell you guys, I had all 5, including the 6th, right? And I suffered with all of these things till the age of 31. And for 10 years, I suffered with debilitating chronic migraines. And for 10 years, I was silenced with painkillers, and my pain never got better. Thank you for sharing the live. So we're going to talk about this next signal. Now, again, for those of you who just joined, let's just recap. Your body is an instrument. It's the most powerful diagnostic tool in the world. It can test truth with a 99.9% accuracy. So, for example, I know that pain is my body's only mechanism to speak to me. Pain is just a signal. It's not physical. It could be physical, but most likely it's not. So when my body gives me a pain signal, I have a system to not only know what it is, but how to fix it for free in seconds. So there's only 6 signals that pain can be. Number 1, physical, parasites, toxins, nutrient deficiencies. Number 2, emotional trauma. Number 3, generational trauma. Number 4, absorbed energy. Once you understand the truth about pain, then you can fix it. It's as simple as that, okay? Next one. The reason that I'm separated from all the other teachers, spiritual teachers, healers out there is because I teach it all. Because we are multidimensional beings, we have to look at the physical, we have to look at the emotional, we have to look at the generational, the absorbed, and the spiritual. You guys, this is my favorite key because we are under spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare exists whether you believe it or not. It doesn't care what religion you are. It doesn't care what color you are. It doesn't care what ethnicity you are, right? Spiritual warfare is real. What is spiritual warfare? It is things that are causing you physical pain that you cannot see with your eyes. whether that's curses, hexes, spells, demonic entities, unclean spirits, fiery darts of the adversary, parasitic energies, astral energies, right? Now, here's the thing. When I teach about spiritual warfare, it's kind of hard because language puts us in a box, right? When I say something that doesn't resonate with someone else, it's almost hindering. That's why, right, ascended beings speak telepathically. But all you have to understand is that spiritual warfare can physically attack you and cause you pain. Now, when I was a little girl, I saw demonic entities. I saw unclean spirits. I was attacked. I had sleep paralysis. I had night terrors. I wet the bed till I was 10 years old. I was terrified. I was 4 years old. Do you think that I had read the Bible? No. Do you think that I knew about these things? No. But they were real. I saw them. I experienced them. So when it comes to spiritual warfare, we have to stop judging people. We have to stop saying, oh, they're crazy, or they must be worshiping Satan, or they must be dabbling in things that they shouldn't be. No, that's a lie. Because innocent people are being attacked daily. How do I know? Because I work with totally normal people, good Christians, right? Doctors, chiropractors, family members who are doing everything they can to be good people, and they're being attacked spiritually. They come to me with physical pain, chronic pain, and we're like, oh, spiritual, right? My best friends are a conversation, no socials, no scenario. So you guys, pain is communication. So for 10 years, by the way, I was suffering with debilitating chronic migraines. I think that's what's wrong with me. Candace, you know. So a lot of times when I teach these things, people automatically, intuitively know that's what my problem is. Okay? That's what your problem is. Most time when I talk to people and I ask them questions, very specific questions, they're like, oh my gosh, how did you know? And then they'll know the exact memory that happened that was tied to that age. We lean on God, can't he heal us from all the bad? Cassandra, yes, but higher level of law. So if you ask the question, that it means that I need to answer this. You came to this earth to learn, to grow, to be tested. You chose specifically the life lessons you would go through. Yes, the sexual trauma, the physical trauma, the emotional trauma, the child loss, the pain, the suffering. It was all part of the plan. God knew this, you knew this, okay? You forget why you're here so that you can go through those life lessons, because what's the point of being a God and knowing everything and coming here? So pain is your gift from God. Pain is your gift from Creator to know when something is wrong, but you've been taught to silence that one thing. So yes, he is very aware of you, or source creator, right, is very aware of you. And you are never disassociated, disconnected from source. And you've never been disconnected. It's always within. In fact, your body is the instrument, the vessel that's keeping you here. That's literally the connection between you and source. It's never been separate. So when I ask, I receive the answer straight from source. When I'm in pain, I ask my body, what is this pain? My body tells me in seconds what it is. So if it's physical, my body will tell me. If it's spiritual, my body will tell me. So going back to 21 years old for me, I didn't know that pain was my gift. I didn't know that pain was my body's only mechanism to let me know when something's not right, right? It was my Lamborghini's dashboard. Pain is my Lamborghini's dashboard. I need it, because if I don't have those signals, I don't know, right? So at the age of 21, I started developing chronic migraines. I had no clue what migraines were. All I knew was I'm dying and I think I have a brain tumor. So I went to the doctors, right? Because I thought my pain was physical. They did all the labs. They did all the tests. I'm talking, you guys, so many labs, so many tests. Guess what? Guess what those labs and tests came up with? Nothing. They said, you are a perfectly healthy 21-year-old. Like, all your labs are perfectly normal. Huh. But you're having migraines. You guys, migraines are not normal. Pain is not normal. It is your body's SOS, help me signal. Yep, you were fine. But do you know they had a solution for me? Just like they have a solution for all of us. It comes in a pill. Okay? So So I took Imitrex for 10 years. And for 10 years, my body was in excruciating pain. My body was screaming at me to listen to it. And every time my messenger showed up, which I teach people in my course, right? That pain is just a messenger. It's poking at you, right? And the more you ignore it, the harder it pokes and the pain gets worse and worse. And you're like, oh my gosh, why am I in so much pain? Because your messenger is screaming at you. Now, my headaches never got better. For 10 years, they increasingly got worse. And do you know what the solution was? Increase the dosage. Increase the dosage. So after 10 years, I'm now 31 years old. Not only did I not heal from my migraines, but they were still 3 to 5 times a week, and I was on the highest dosage. For 10 years, I was silencing my pain. I was silencing my truth, right? I was literally engulfed in the system, the corrupt, disgusting system that is owned by the elites of this world. We call them deletes. But a miracle happened. I couldn't get to my medication, so I reached out to a friend who did energy holistic healing, and she told me, she said, Heather, you are being attacked by legions of demonic entities. And for the first time in 10 years, I had the truth, and I knew it in my soul. And for the first time, I was able to heal my migraines that day. Wow, Phoenix. I'm glad I finally gotten the answer to my mysterious migraines. Yeah, most people who are suffering with migraines, not all, spiritual warfare. Now, with that being said, your migraines could be physical, right? You could have some nutrient deficiencies. You could have some parasites or toxins. You may have some emotional traumas trying to surface, which cause you pressure and tightness in your head because you're trying to ignore the emotion and your body's trying to push it up. Like we gotta face this. There could be some generational trauma. There could be some spiritual warfare. You guys don't have to guess. You can know. In fact, my biggest pet peeve is when I hear a man or a woman say, I don't know. Yes, you do know. You know exactly what you need, but you've been taught to silence it. You've been taught to disassociate from your body. You've been taught to ignore the one thing that can set you free, and that's your intuition, your internal education. Okay? HIV energy healing. HIV, the root could be physical, could be parasites. Okay? There could be some emotional trauma that anchored that in. There could be some spiritual warfare, generational trauma as well. Okay? Sound can cure anything. This is what I will say. Yes, sound can cure anything, but a lot of people are trying to spiritually bypass. Let me explain. You came to this earth to learn a lesson, and if you were just plucked out of every single lesson, what's the point, right? Pain is communication. Pain is a teacher. Pain is an alchemizer. Pain is a paycheck, baby. I will talk about that after we go through this, but pain is your literal gift. There have been times where I was having my spiritual awakenings and I was praying to God. I was even praying to God every day during my migraines and my headaches, right? And I was like, why aren't you saving me? You have abandoned me, right? You're not listening to me. And the whole time, Creator was listening to me. Creator was like, I'm trying to communicate with you, but you're ignoring the one gift I gave you, which is pain. I'm trying to tell you what your pain is so you can fix it, right? So let's go to the next signal. Before we do, how many of you guys are suffering with spiritual warfare and you're a 4 for 4? How many of you guys know that your pain is rooted in things that you cannot see, that you know that are affecting you? If you're 4 for 4, let me know. Yeah. Okay. And then once we go to the 5th one, you guys, which is actually the 6th one, because the first one's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, absorbed, we have one more. Then you now have all of the keys. You understand what pain is. Now you need to know how to heal pain. That is what I teach you in the Truth Code system, which we're going to talk about once we wrap it up. Yep, 4 for 4. Partially. Yeah. Yeah, and that's totally fine. It's totally fine. All right, this next key, and by the way, you guys, I have had the emotional trauma. the spiritual trauma, massive spiritual trauma, right? From childhood all the way to 31. Generational trauma, absorbed energy. Now, I will tell you that these things don't go away. But once you understand what pain is, the second I get an even little hint of spiritual warfare, I clear it. The second anything tries to attack me, like absorbed energy, I clear it. If I have fatigue, anxiety, anything, I can know what it is and fix it in seconds. Okay? 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, partially. I'm unsure about the 4th. That's okay, Anna. That's totally fine. Now, here's the thing about being unsure. With this system, you don't have to guess. With this system, your body will tell you exactly what it is. And in my truth code system, I literally give you charts too. So you're like, oh, this is what it is. Seconds. Okay? Everyone can do this, by the way. My children can do it. All right, let's talk about the 5th signal. And this will be the last one. You guys, thank you so much for tapping those hearts. Let's see if we can get to 40,000 hearts. I never do goals because I don't know, but let's see if we can get to 40,000 hearts. If you guys can share what this is going to do, it's going to get other people this information. I share this information for free because people need to understand the truth about pain. This one shift in perspective is going to change people's lives, and it could be the one thing that will heal them. I wish somebody told me that my pain could be something else because I wouldn't have spent years suffering in silence. All right, let's go to the next signal. I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you my personal story, how I came across this signal. Now, I was 31 years old, and you guys, it's been over 10 years since I've been to doctors. I haven't needed to. I do not pay for medical healthcare insurance. I don't pay into that scam. I don't feed that entity that is literally profiting off of us, okay? Yep, most of us have to do it alone, actually. And when I say do it alone, it means we have to take accountability for our bodies. We're not necessarily alone. We always have Creator with us. We always have spiritual family with us, okay? We feel like we're doing it alone, but you're never alone. I teach you this in Spiritual Mastery. So 31 years old, got chronic chest pain, came out of nowhere. Now, I knew how to speak to my body, okay, but I wasn't an expert by any means at 31. I'll be 42 tomorrow. But 10 years ago, right, I kind of knew how to communicate with my body. I had excruciating chest pain. I had a baby, and they always say if you have chest pain or cold pain, right, you got to be careful you don't give your baby croup or whooping cough. So I went to the doctors just to make sure. So I was going on about 3 weeks of this excruciating chest pain. I couldn't breathe. You guys, it literally felt like something was sitting on my chest, crushing my bones. If you've ever broken a rib and know how excruciating that pain, that's how bad it was. So guess what? Went to the doctors. There's nothing wrong with you. It must be some type of virus, so you're just going to have to wait it out. So here's your bill. I went home with obviously no answers. And by this time, I was going on about 3.5 weeks of excruciating pain. So I asked my body, what is this pain? Because pain is just a messenger. And my body told me, this pain is not from this lifetime. I had no clue what that meant. I'm like, okay. So I waited a couple more days. And this time I'm going on 4 weeks of the most excruciating I couldn't breathe. And I couldn't laugh. I couldn't talk loud because every time I did that, it was just like knives in my chest. It hurt so bad. So 10 years ago, you guys, we had YouTube, and YouTube was like today's TikTok where we search everything on YouTube. So I asked YouTube, like, pain not from this lifetime. Because I asked my body again, and my body said the same thing. It's not from this lifetime. I didn't know what that meant. So I Googled how to heal pain not from this lifetime. Not Googled, YouTubed it. And YouTube brought up a past life regression meditation. I didn't know what that was, but I knew it was a meditation. I'm like, let's do it. I love meditation. So about 5 minutes into this meditation, I was literally transported to another timeline. And in this timeline, I could see a version of me with this long flowing red hair. I was in a castle, kind of like a dungeon room. I was bawling my eyes out at this like vanity table. And I knew I knew I could feel all of her energy. She was being abused. She was being used to bring male babies into this kind of kingdom. I knew that if they were female babies, they were no longer allowed to stay. I knew that I was being treated less than the dog. I knew that I had some type of royalty or wealth, but it didn't matter because I was a woman. So I was literally looked at like worse than the dog, right? The dog had more worth and value than I did. And I just remember feeling all this pain in my body. I never experienced this before. And all of a sudden I was jolted out of that like vision, and my chest was on fire. Like I was terrified. I even told my husband we might need to go to the emergency room. And so because of this experience, you guys, I actually reached out to the same lady who helped me with my being attacked by legions of demonic entities when I finally figured it out what was actually causing my migraines. So I reached out to her. I didn't tell her what I experienced. I didn't tell her what I had experienced because I was afraid. Now, a lot of people who experience spiritual things that they cannot explain, there's almost shame and fear that comes around it because we don't want to look crazy, right? We don't want to get put in a mental hospital. For those who've experienced, they know what I'm talking about. Even though she literally just certified me as a Reiki master, like we talk about energy, we talk about spiritual things, the good, the bad, I still was afraid to tell her this, my experience. But anyways, I called her. I said, hey, doctors told me I have a crazy virus, but it's not getting better. Is there any way you can get me in for a session? And she was able to get me in the next morning. So I'm in a session with her and she's doing her work on me, and I'm trying to telepathically tell her what I experienced so I didn't have to speak out my words, right? Because there's something about speaking the words out that can be really terrifying for men and women. She wasn't getting the message. So I finally looked at her and I was like, Kira, I said, this chest pain, it's not from this lifetime. Do you want to know what she told me? She said, it's not. She said, I see a redheaded little girl running through the fields. And the second she said that, you guys, it was like a lightning bolt of fire that shot through my entire body. And my chest pain was completely gone. Zero pain. Gone. And we both looked at each other and I was like, what the hell just happened? So for those of you guys who are unfamiliar, that you are a multi-dimensional being, that time is not linear, that we are eternal beings, that time actually doesn't exist. There is no past, present, future. This is really hard for us to wrap our heads around, right? This is why Moses was able to be shown the end of the world, right? This is why several people were able to be shown what the last days look like, because time is not linear. So what I had just experienced was a lifetime that I had been silenced, that I was suffering. And my body, which is the main vessel right now that's connected to all of them, was showing me what needed to be cleared and cleansed in this lifetime so I can move forward. I'm the kind of person that once I learn something, I need to be certified in it, right? So I got certified in past life regression therapy, right? I learned about quantum healing hypnosis therapy. And this is why I teach the truth code system. Because you don't need certifications to know if what you are suffering with is a past lifetime. You don't need certifications to know if your body needs something physical, if you're experiencing emotional trauma, if it's generational trauma. Those are lies. Those were things that we were taught as children to disassociate us from our truth so that we believe that we constantly have to outsource to other people. Now, the more you outsource your truth, your power, the more pain you're going to be in. And until you learn how to do this one thing, ask and receive in seconds, you will never be free. You just won't. Because if you don't know how to do this, you're going to waste hundreds of thousands of dollars. You're going to waste time. You're going to waste money. And you're going to end up broken down on the side of the road in pain, wondering why. Why am I still in pain? Well, because you've ignored the signal. because you are a $1 million Lamborghini that's giving you warning signal after warning signal after warning signal, and this is what you're doing. Ignoring it, silencing it, going to the gas station, buying a whole bunch of random products, shoving it in the gas can, hoping it's going to fix your vehicle, and you still end up broke down on the side of the road. Let me ask you a question. How many physical things are going to fix spiritual warfare? How many physical things are going to fix a past life trauma, karma? How many emotional trauma therapy sessions are going to fix spiritual warfare? If you want to heal your body, if you want to become pain-free, you have to give your body what it wants. If your vehicle needs oil, there's nothing else that's going to fix the problem. You need to give your vehicle oil. When you understand this one truth, which is so simple, you will never suffer with pain again because you'll know how to give it what it wants, right? So that is the truth code system. So what is the truth code system? So now that you understand pain, what pain is, now how do I fix it, Heather? Right? How do I clear it? So instead of spending 10 years and thousands of dollars of certifications like me, I created a very simple system. It's a process. What I've realized was I was spending years learning everyone else's processes, right? And I'm like, why isn't this working? Why am I still sick? Well, because I was learning the physical things, right? I learned about parasites, toxins, nutrient deficiencies, but I was still sick. I learned about generational trauma, spiritual warfare, absorbed energy, but I was still sick, right? So I needed the whole thing. So in my truth code system, you don't have to guess. You can know exactly what your pain is and how to heal it in seconds. Okay? That is your birthright. That is your gift. And it's so easy. My children can do it. The hardest part for you is going to be trusting that you can do it. That's the hardest thing. Why is it so hard for people to trust that they can actually get answers for themselves? Because as a child, you were taught to disassociate from this one powerful thing. But I promise you, when you come back to this truth, thanks for getting your daily heart. When you come back to this one truth, that all the answers are within, everything. And that pain is just your body's only way to tell you what the problem is so that you can fix it. It's a game over. So I'm going to give you guys 3 bonuses. And by the way, this is $97 normally when I'm not live. So you get it for $27 plus 3 free bonuses. So bonus number 1. What's the point of me being able to help myself if I can't help my children, my friends, my family? I don't care. I don't want it. So you guys, I teach you how to do this for your children. Do you know how many nonverbal people, parents with nonverbal children, that I'm able to help because they don't understand what's wrong with their children, because they can't communicate? Do you know how frustrating that is as a parent? I spent literally 6 months of my firstborn's lifetime bouncing a screaming baby that would projectile vomit, and I would take him to the doctors, and they had no solution other than giving him a painkiller that they eventually took off the market because the painkiller that they were giving babies was literally right? You know what the next word is, aliving. So thank goodness I didn't give my son that, because I may not have had my son. Now, I didn't have the truth code system when I was literally every night at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, like searching, how can I help my baby? Yeah. So I need you to understand something. Language is universal. When someone is in pain, that is universal. And you can test what that pain is in seconds. You don't have to guess. You can know why your child is in pain. Is it physical? Is it emotional? Is it spiritual? Is it generational? Is it absorbed? You can test that. You guys, you can test and help people in a totally different continent, right? I have clients in Australia, in Africa, in China, in Ireland, in the Netherlands. You are the most powerful supercomputer. It takes seconds to connect to someone. It takes seconds to ask and receive the answers for anyone, as long as you have permission. So that's bonus number 1. Okay, I teach you how to do this for your family, for your friends, for your children. Golden, been there. I would not wish that on anyone. I literally lived on a bouncy ball. Like when my firstborn, he's 15 now, he had parasites. Like I literally saw parasites crawling through his eye when I was like breastfeeding him. And I freaked out. I tried to like film it with my camera. Back then there were like blueberries or blackberries. And the cameras weren't as good back then, right? It was super blurry. So I'm like trying to like film my baby's eye while I'm watching like a literal worm crawl across his eyeball, freaking out. You guys, everyone said I was crazy. Everyone said you were seeing things. It was probably a hair. I know what the hell I was seeing. You guys, women, we need to trust our intuition, especially when it comes to our children. That gut feeling that says this isn't right. I had that same gut feeling when my daughter was 2 years old and I was about to take her in for some things at the doctor's and my body was screaming at me, don't do it. Right? That is my intuition. So fast forward 15 years later, the doctors are talking about parasites, right? It's becoming more natural. We are understanding the truth now because again, you guys, the elites, they rewrote the educational system. They rewrote the healthcare system. They owned the money system. They've taken out everything that could actually help heal us for free. I know, but I don't know how to help myself respectfully unlocking the universal language. Yeah, so golden lady, this is why I teach this system, because this system isn't spiritual. It's not religious. It's what is my pain? Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? And then I have charts so that you can go exactly to what it is. Language is so constricting, but when you understand the truth and how to get your own answers, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what nationality, race, religion, faith you are. If I say something like demonic entity, what does that mean to you? Not what does it mean to me, what does it mean to you? What do you interpret that as? Because all you need is your own interpretation. Your body's just trying to use the language that we have to express truth to you, right? So you ask intuitively, what is this? You get the download straight from your creator. So you don't have to guess. All right, who's excited about bonus number 1? I am. I remember when I was first learning how to do like intuitive testing, I would see these women just be like, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, oh, how did you do that? I'm so jealous. And they're like, you can do it too, Heather. And I was like the 1% that I couldn't learn. So I'm certified in muscle testing, kinesiology. I also learned how to test in Germany. It's called Innerwise. So I teach you 2 ways how to test. They're the easiest ways to test in the truth code system. Again, it's using your body as the instrument. Once you connect to your instrument, it is a game over. This is the one most powerful thing that if you learn, it is a game over. When you learn how to ask and receive your own answers directly from source, you guys, not from a man, not from a book, not from a prophet, not from a teacher, not from a pastor, not from a psychic, not from a medium, not from a healer, straight from source, it is a game over. Thank you for sharing the live, LS. So let's go to bonus number 2. How many of you guys struggle with money? How many of you guys feel like money is just this huge thing that is so hard and everybody else must be way better at money than you because you just suck at money, and no matter how hard you work, it's like paycheck to paycheck? That was me. How many of you guys were taught that money doesn't grow on trees, and if you want something, you have to work your ass off for it? Me. Right? What if I told you that you can have as much money as you want? In fact, God, source, universe wants you to have all the money you want, but the only thing blocking you from receiving that is truth. And the pain that you are experiencing because you want more is the actual instruction. It's the teacher saying, hey, I know you want $10,000 a month. But this is why you're not receiving it. And until we clear these things, you're never going to receive it. I had no clue, you guys. So let me tell you my own personal experience. So 2 years ago, I quit my corporate job. It was the hardest, most terrifying thing I did. I thought for sure I can get another job easily. Nope. For me, it's fear. Yep. Most people, it's fear. Fear of being seen, fear of being heard, failure, right? So you guys, after I quit my corporate job, it was a roller coaster. Every day I woke up with a pit in my stomach and a pit in my chest. Do you guys wake up with that pit and that tightness, knowing that you're supposed to do more? Like, I know I'm supposed to be a teacher, a healer, a mentor, a coach, but I just don't know how, and it's overwhelming, right? It hurts. That's pain. Again, pain is a silent killer. Pain comes in so many facets. Pain in your body, physically, pain in relationships, and pain when it comes to money. So last October, right? I knew I had to go for it. I knew I needed to do it, but I was in so much pain, you guys. So I sat down with pain, with my body, with my messenger, and I asked my body, show me what this pain is. It was a fear. It was fear of being seen. Now there's 2 different versions of being seen, right? Have you guys watched the movie Avatar? And they say, I see you. I see you, brother. That is a different seeing than, well, I see you. I was afraid of this. I was afraid of people seeing me. Heather Ashley Jones, the little girl who was abused, the little girl who had spiritual warfare, right? I was so afraid of the judgment of my family members, of people who knew me, saying, who do you think you are? Telling people they can heal themselves for free. Who do you think you are, right? So my body told me, if you clear this fear, the money will come. Nice to meet you, Kev. My body told me, if you clear this fear, the money will come. So I did. Was it easy? No, it wasn't easy, because I had to do brave things. I had to share my story. And in doing so, I did lose family members. And in doing so, right, people had to set boundaries against me. But I teach you in Spiritual Mastery the power of boundaries. But the second I did that, you guys, I did $20,000 in sales that first month. I was blown away. I had no clue, right? Because I made capacity for that money to come in. Now, I've helped other people do their first 10K, 20K. I helped someone do $75,000 in sales, right? Through high ticket sales. And I was like, holy crap. Pain is the messenger. It's just the teacher. So when you get the truth code system, I teach you how to understand what your pain is, what your blocks are, so that money can come in. It's not magic. It's not a secret manifesting tool where you say something 3 times, 6 times, 9 times, right? It's understanding, where is the pain? Where does it hurt? Where do I have fear? Where do I have doubts? And you face those fears and those doubts head on through action, right? Faith without works is dead. But you're not going to be able to fix your money problems by ignoring it, by thinking I'm not good enough, I don't deserve it, right? You can ask your body. You can say, I want $10,000 a month. The second you ask, you shall receive. But here's the truth. Your body's going to show you where it doesn't feel comfortable. And if it doesn't feel comfortable, you're not going to receive it. So I'm going to teach you how to make the money, queen and king. And it's powerful. It's powerful. Pain is the teacher. Pain is your gift from God, from Creator. It's amazing. Every single time I have pain, discomfort, right? An internal message that doesn't feel right. What is this? What is this? I want to know so I can clear it. All right, so that's bonus number 2. You get absolutely free when you get the truth code system. Bonus number 3, you guys ready? Remember I told you that you would never take a Lamborghini to a gas station because a warning signal came on and you're like, I'm just going to go to the gas station and let's just buy a couple things and shove it down my gas can and hope that the light goes off. You would never do that. Why? Because most likely you're going to destroy your car's engine. But you do that when you go to any grocery store and you buy a random product and you put it down your gas can. You would never do that to a Lamborghini. Then why is it okay for you to do it to your body? It's not. So how many of you guys have done that, right? I used to. So sick, like on my deathbed. So I'd go to the store and buy all the cold medicines and all the things. I think this will work. This says this will work, right? And I would just shove it down my gas can. You guys, 95% of products that are on the shelves are not FDA regulated, which means that there is a warning label that says warning. This is not regulated, meaning you are taking the risk that they are saying what's in this product is actually in there, but we don't know. We don't know the side effects. We don't know the risks. And I will say most people, unfortunately, when they make a product, they do not have your best interest at mind. They have the dollar sign. And so you're actually paying for products that are poisoning your vehicle, and you're going to end up broke down on the side of the road. And you're going to be like, I don't understand. You don't have to guess. So I teach you how to test products. Do you know that your body is a diagnostic tool? Do you know that your body can test truth with a 99.9% accuracy? That means when I have a product in my hand, I can literally ask my instrument, is this going to help me? Yes or no? How cool is that? Kaya, got the system queen. We do not guess when it comes to our health. We do not guess when it comes to our Lamborghini. I will only put the best ingredients in my Lamborghini. I will not let you put garbage in my car unless I know exactly what it is and it's actually going to fix my car. That's like taking your car to a mechanic and saying, fix my car. And they're like, I don't know. I'll give you a couple things that might work. They might not, but you're taking the risk. So you take what the mechanic gave you and you put it in your car. And all of a sudden, not only is that not fixed, but you have 10 to 20 other side effects, meaning now my windshield wipers are going crazy. Now my car is sputtering. And you go back to the mechanic and the mechanic says, I don't know. Here, let me give you something else. And then you put that in your vehicle. And again, it gets even worse. You guys, we are doing the same thing to our bodies when we go to our own mechanics for our own body, and they guess with our health. And it's called a prescription medication. Not one prescription medication will fix you or heal you. In fact, when you read the label warning, it says, warning, taking this for this amount of time could cause 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 side effects. And we think that's normal now. Have you ever read the infomercials like, hey, if you suffer with this, like nighttime bedwetting, that's okay. Just take this little pill and you're going to be so happy because you don't wet the bed anymore. But you might have sneezing and coughing and diarrhea and da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, what? Are people seeing this? Like, that's crazy. That's like going to a mechanic and saying, hey, can you fix my oil? And they're like, sure, but if we fix the oil, you might leave with a broken down tire, right? A broken headlight. Some of the lights might flicker. And you're like, cool, that's fine with me. As long as you fix my oil, I'm cool. Where is our critical thinking hats? Where has our critical thinking mind gone? It's been taken from us because as children, you were taught to disassociate. You were literally taught to don't ask questions. Don't ask questions. Just say, yes, I understand. We don't do that anymore, okay? So bonus number 3, I'm going to teach you how to test products so you don't poison your vehicle, so your vehicle doesn't end up broken down on the side of the road. You can do this. It is your birthright. Do you know how to heal yourself for free? Yes or no? Do you know how to get answers in seconds? Yes or no? If the answer is no, then you are not free. You are still relying on a system, and not only any system, the most corrupt, vile, Satan worshiping system whose whole entire existence is to keep you caged, silenced, and you are a cash cow. I hate to be so bold, but God put me on this earth to be bold. Do you know how to get answers in seconds? If you don't worry. I have a solution for you. I will teach you how to get answers from your own instrument. Once you understand how to do this one thing, you will become one of the most powerful people in the world because you will have access to truth, which we all have access to it, but they don't want you to remember this. What would happen to a system that profits off of our pain if we know how to fix our pain for free? What would happen to a system that profits off of our pain if we knew how to heal our pain for $0? It would disappear. It would literally crumble. A lot of people are talking about a new earth, a new world. In order for us to go into that new world, we have to take our power back. You can do that. If my kids can do it, I can do it. If I can heal horrific trauma, sexual trauma, physical trauma, if I can heal religious programming, shame, guilt, if I can become financially free, if I can heal my body and my relationships, you can too. It's your birthright. Don't allow pain to stop you. Understand the truth that pain is your friend. It's a messenger. Okay, it's here to give you exactly what you need. You don't have to guess. So if you're done guessing, get the truth code system, okay? It's $27 while I'm live, plus 3 free bonuses. If you get it while I'm off live, about an hour off live, it goes back up to $97. Either way, it's priceless, okay? If you're gonna buy products by guessing, you might as well take money out of your wallet and flush it down the toilet. If you're gonna go to someone and ask for help, you better know how to test what they are telling you is true, because if it's not, you could be doing yourself more harm than good. This is why Jesus literally said, right? Do not put your trust in the arm of flesh. Do not do it. Do not put your trust in the arm of flesh. This is man, this is book, this is corruption, right? These are things that will die and wither away. Put your trust in source. Put your trust in creator. And when you understand that your body is a gift, that your body loves, adores, worships you, that your body's entire existence is to serve you and to keep you here on this earth. Your body does not have an agenda against you. It breaks my heart when people say, my body hates me. No, it doesn't. It's speaking to you through pain. You are the one that's silencing it. Don't silence your pain. It's the only thing your body has to plead for help. Okay. All right. Who's ready for spiritual mastery? So I have a huge gift for you. If you have never seen me go live, you probably are wondering what the heck is spiritual mastery. So spiritual mastery is for those who want to know what their purpose is. I know I'm here to do huge things, but I don't know what my purpose is. Spiritual mastery. If you want to know what your purpose is, if you want to know what your spiritual gifts are, and how to use those gifts and your purpose to help other people, spiritual mastery. Now, spiritual mastery is normally $9.97. But for my birthday, which is tomorrow, okay, $222 for the rest of this month. There are so many things that I will teach you, but the most important thing is how to know what your purpose is, understand your spiritual gifts to be able to help other people. And this is the biggest thing, you guys, pain is a paycheck, baby. Every single pain that you went through is a deposit, and it's time to collect. Every single trauma you went through and survived, that was a deposit of pain, and it is time to collect, because this is the truth. Every single person who is financially free, they're doing it by helping other people, and they're helping other people because they went through it. They created a pathway to help you go from here to here. Do you understand? So in spiritual mastery, I'm going to teach you your purpose and how to take people using your gifts and your pain that you deposited in your lifetime, right? You're going to tell people, you don't need to suffer in silence anymore. I did that. I know what it feels like to be alone, to be shamed, to have trauma. Most people I work with are very spiritually gifted. They are people who believe in the unseen. They are people who understand where we're at in this dispensation of time. But they just need help. They just need that little nudge, that little truth, okay? So I've learned from some of the top healers, mediums in the world. I learned from multimillionaires. I did thousands of dollars in certifications. I did a $50,000 course in Breakthrough. I teach you that for free. I teach you that for free in the Truth Code, actually. That's how to heal trauma in minutes. But I need you to say yes to yourself. I need you to stop doubting. If you're listening to this and you've known for years, like you were like me, right? I know I have these gifts. I know I'm not supposed to be in this corporate job. I know I'm not supposed to be doing this 9-to-5 job. Like, I know I'm supposed to be doing more. I'm here to share my story. I'm here to help people. This is for you. So again, Spiritual Mastery, it's $222. Normally $997. It's only going to be at this price through my birthday. It's my gift to myself and for everyone else. So if you want to join Spiritual Mastery, you guys, do it before the end of this month because it's going to go back up. You do get certification in Truth Code. I need you guys to understand something. Truth Code certification is the exact system that I've helped thousands of people. I've taught psychics, mediums, healers, chiropractors, the same exact system, right? I teach you guys, normal people, right? Who do like, I don't want to be a psychic or a healer, sorry. I just want to help myself and my family. You can do that with this system, right? This is the basic system that will teach you how to get answers in seconds and help you take power over your body. Now, for Spiritual Mastery, this is for people who I don't want to just help myself. I want to help clients. I want to help people all over the world. I want to teach. I want to use my spiritual gifts. Okay, that is Spiritual Mastery. You will get certification in the Truth Code. This is going to go away. I'm going to be separating, okay, certification. It's going to be its own thing. But for now, that's going to be included. So you'll get certification plus all of the Spiritual Mastery course. I'm going to teach you how to have financial freedom, but just know, do you want to know your purpose? Do you want to help people using your gifts and your voice and your story? And do you want a proven system that will help you do that? There's no guessing. So that's my gift to everyone. If you guys want to join a sisterhood with incredible women who are changing their lives, I will tell you, every single woman who comes into my program, and men, we have a couple men too, a couple really strong brothers who want to hang out with the women. The women coming into my group, when they are remembering who they are and they are becoming so powerful. It's like seeing someone who's unsure of themselves, unsure of their gifts, to like me. I'm Heather Ashley Jones. I'm the #1 intuitive teacher. I know how to get you answers in seconds. And not only do I know how to do that, I'm going to teach you how to do it so you learn how to fish so you never go hungry again. You guys, I am a powerful force to be reckoned with. I want you to be that. I want you to go into rooms and have everybody go, who is that person? I want to know her. Who is that person? You don't even have to say a word, and people will understand your authority and your power. When I step into rooms, I don't ask for permission. When I step into rooms, I come with a full cup. I never leave empty. I leave overflowing. I want you to learn how to do this. I want you to understand that everything you need and are seeking is within inside of you. I want to build such a solid rock foundation that when you stand up, people are going to not like you. You guys, Spiritual Mastery is not for the weak. It is not for the people who are like indecisive. It is for the people who are ready to say, I'm refusing to stay silent. I'm refusing to allow other people to continue to hurt me. I'm going to be myself. And if you don't like it, bye. I'm going to teach you how to get a kink out of people hating you, right? My mentor, Onami, she was one of my mentors, which bonus, I teach you Enneagram, not the type, the system in there. But she taught me, like, right, has this huge following. She's like, I have a huge Reddit page against me. Like, people are talking about my name. I don't care. But here's the truth. Catherine got the system queen. Do you know who the perfect example of being a spiritual master? Who do you automatically think of, the most powerful spiritual master teacher that has ever lived? Who do we think of? I think of two people. I think of Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene. Do you think that they were teaching lies? Do you think that they were taking advantage of people? Do you think that they were being dishonest? Two of the most powerful people. speaking, teaching, healing. And guess what? Persecuted and crucified. So if you want to become a spiritual master, you have to be okay with people telling you you're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. That's not true. That wasn't written in the Bible. Jesus didn't say that, right? I think you're stupid. I don't even like to look at you. The way you talk is dumb. I want you to get a kink out of that, because the truth is if you don't have haters, if you don't have people who have opinions against you, guess what? You're too vanilla, and nobody likes vanilla. There's no such thing as a vanilla leader. Look at Martin Luther King, right? Look at every single leader. Look at Joan of Arc. She was literally crucified too, hung and burned. Okay, I understand. Yeah. So spiritual mastery, if you guys feel called, okay, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. If somebody offered me this, like my mentor, right? If she said, Heather, I'm going to teach you all these things for 222 and certification, I'd be like, hell yes, sign me up, because I understand the power now of my worth and my value, and it is priceless. And my goal is to get thousands of people who are ready to teach other people how to fish. You guys, we have to get rid of the system. We have to get rid of this need for people to outsource their truth. We have to start waking people up. We have to teach people how to stop relying on a broken system. We have to teach people to come back to center, come back within, get answers for yourself. I know you're in pain. I know you're in suffering, but let me tell you the truth about pain. Let me tell you the truth about pain, my friend. Let me tell you the truth about trauma. You guys, pain is a paycheck. Some of the most wealthy people that are in my inner circle, they are abundantly rich because they learned how to alchemize their pain into profit. Look at Elizabeth Smart. If you don't know who she is, okay, she was taken when she was 9 years old. Is it 9, or was she abducted for 9 months? Anyways, horrific things happened to her. Now she turned her pain into a paycheck. And not only did she turn it into a paycheck, she helps hundreds of thousands of men and women who have suffered the violation of their innocence. And she has told them, you can go through horrific trauma like me and you can be okay. You can have a beautiful family. You can have the life you've always wanted. Do not let that pain, do not let that memory, right, sabotage your whole entire life. Do you guys understand? Look at Kai Ra. If you haven't read the book, Sophia Codes, she was trafficked as a child for years. She's just now going to court and is able to speak her truth. She was persecuted by so many people, right? There were Reddit channels saying, she wasn't abused. She's using that to make money. People are going to say that to you. Do you know my own family members told me that I'm lying? They said, that never happened to you. I was like, really? Because I'm pretty sure when I was 7 years old and had babysitters doing things to me, I was pretty aware of that. And I'm pretty sure you weren't there. Heck yeah, Cassandra. Kai Ra has now helped hundreds of thousands of people by telling people her pain, by reclaiming the things that happened to her. And she turned her pain into a paycheck. Because the law is, the more you give, the more you shall receive. When you share your story, you are helping people by giving them permission. Do you guys understand? Now, before you say, because I've had people say, you're a healer and you charge people? Yes. Because do you know how long it took us to heal ourselves and to train and certify and to develop our skills and our talents? We're not charging you for our gift. We're charging you for our skills and our talents, for the things that took us years to overcome, so you don't have to spend the same amount of time dealing with that alone. So excited. I've been hearing everything you are saying over the last few months. Yes, Catherine. So Catherine knows what this deal is, 222, right? Normally $9.97. When I go live, it's $4.97, but right now you can get it for $222. You guys, I'm going to have 100 people certified before the end of this year. I'm going to have 100 men and women certified in the truth code because we need hundreds of thousands of people to understand the truth. Now, you don't need to be certified in the truth code to learn the system for yourself. You can get it for $27, right? Why did I make it $27 and not $5,000 to $10,000 like, right? My mentors told me, Heather, you got to be charging $5,000 for this. Because people don't have that money. People don't have $5,000, $10,000. People are barely able to pay their rent, their food, their mortgage payments, their car payments, right? The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. There's like almost no middleman. So that's why I charge $27. When I tell you that my biggest pet peeve is when people say, you get what you pay for. Do you know how many things I got at the DI for dirt cheap? I didn't pay $200 for this shirt. I paid $2. It was worth it, right? Do you know how many people pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for like torn up like homeless t-shirts because it says Louis Vuitton or Gucci? And I'm like, really? You get what you pay for. So the system is $27 because God, the creator, told me that this has to be affordable for everybody. And the reason why you paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, spent so many hours in certifications, was because I needed you to pay the price so that other people didn't have to. Because there are going to be hundreds of thousands of your brothers and sisters who need to learn this truth, and I'm going to make a way for them to receive it. Now, I wish I could pay my family with free. Someone's like, I can't believe you're charging. I was like, listen, I wish I could pay my family with free services, right? I wish I could, but I can't. We do live in a world that right now the exchange is money. So I made it super affordable so that you can learn the system, break free, and become, right? You can become a fisher. Now, I want you to become a fisher of men and learn spiritual mastery so that you can teach other people to become fishers, right? That's what Jesus literally did. He taught his apostles, and then he taught his apostles to go teach other people. Jesus was literally trying to teach people. And again, my program is not religious or spiritual, but I do love Jesus, right? He was the most coolest, powerful teacher that we've ever had. But he was literally teaching people that we are like him. You can do everything I can do. Even greater things you can do. What did Jesus do? He spoke directly to God. There was no middleman. We could do the same thing. We can receive power, healing, the gift of tongues, prophecy, revelation, visions, healing, interpretations of tongues, and so forth. Everything that he did, we can do. And that's why he came to this earth, was to show us. Do you want to know why there was a dark ages for 1,000 years? Oh, we won't open that can of worms. It was because we were silenced for 1,000 years. Well, maybe that was the millennium. Maybe we're in Satan's season. I don't know. That's up for you to know, right? These are questions that you can ask and receive. I'm going to teach you how to do that in spiritual mastery. But either way, Jesus was a fisher of men. He was teaching people how to fish so that they would never go hungry again. They would never be self-reliant on the arm of flesh, because when you put your trust and your faith in the arm of flesh, you are going to be sorely disappointed. You're going to be so disappointed every time, because man is corrupt. And I'm not teaching you in spiritual mastery to worship me. That's not what I'm doing. I'm teaching you how to be your own master. I'm teaching you how to be your own leader. I'm teaching you how to receive information directly from Creator so that you don't ask Heather, right? You ask Creator, what's the truth about this? And we're going to go into things that are super deep, like DNA activation, frequency healing, like all the things. I always love it in my spiritual mastery course because people will like ask questions. Like they'll get these really cool downloads. And they're like, oh, what about this? Like this just happened. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I teach you in this module, right? So I'm going to help you build a rock solid foundation so you can plant your feet on there and you can say, this is me. I'm here, baby. I'm back. And you're going to teach other people how to be boldly themselves. We need more people who are boldly themselves, who know their worth, they know their power, because when you shine your light, you become a lighthouse. You become a lighthouse. What does a lighthouse do? It literally shines its light so other people lost at sea can find their way back to truth. That is what you've been called to do. If you have a purpose inside of your body that's been screaming at you to help people, it's because you were meant to be a lighthouse. And I know you know that. I know you're hearing my words and you're like, I know, Heather. You have been called. Many are called, but few are chosen. Why? Because to be chosen is very hard, because you had to overcome the fears. You have to overcome. People are not going to like you. A lighthouse doesn't care. Do you know why a lighthouse is so powerful? Because the winds come, the waves come, huge storms come, and they try to crash on the lighthouse. And guess what? The lighthouse stands firm, because the lighthouse knows what it is. It knows its purpose. It knows its direction. It knows where it's getting its power, its source, right? And it continues to shine. So when you become a lighthouse, it gives other people permission, and they're going to come to you. They're going to flock to you. They're going to be like, this is the way. Got it? Okay. So that's it, everybody. Spiritual Mastery 222. Right now, it includes certification. It includes another $1,000 program, which is called Queen Code, to become financially free, but it's everything you need. And it's amazing. But don't take my word for it. If you need testimonials, go follow me on Instagram. You guys can click on my testimonial. You'll see hundreds of testimonials. I have one pinned on TikTok. Follow my YouTube channel if you want to see people who are actually using this system from going from a 10 to a 0. You guys follow my YouTube, Heather Ashley Jones. Follow my earlier videos and fast forward to like the last hour. You can watch as I take people on one-on-one, and we take them from a 10 to a 0. It's so cool. So if you want to watch that, again, go to my YouTube channel. If you want to binge watch, that'd be great. But go follow me on YouTube at Heather Ashley Jones, Instagram at Heather_Ashley_Jones. So let's be friends. And if you're super overwhelmed and you're like, I don't know where to start, get my free guide. Woohoo, we did 40,000, you guys. Good job. Go get my free guide. It's linked in my bio. So if you guys click my picture, okay? There's a link there. If you're tech illiterate, that's okay. Say, Heather, can you please send me the link? Because TikTok's not easy for me to navigate. I will send you the link. When you click on the link, it'll show you my free guide. Yes, Margaret, got the system. When you click on the link, it'll show you my free guide. You'll get access to the free guide. It's totally free. It goes over everything we just taught. My $27 truth code system. You will see a $10 a month school training. You guys, this training is just a monthly membership for $10 a month. If you've gotten the truth code system and you're like, I do better with hands-on training, that will be the $10 truth code training. So I do have some people who are way better at like hands-on. They want to ask questions. They want to see the system working in action. Again, truth code training, that's the $10 membership. That is only for beginner basic level. Like, I'm stuck testing. I don't know how to get my yes or my no. I'm not understanding the charts. Like, I'm trying to help my family and my friends, and I'm getting stuck, okay? Then you'll see Spiritual Mastery for 222. That's it. So if you want the link, just drop it. Send me a private message. If you do have questions, you guys just read the information. If you want to book a one-on-one, I'm still offering those. It's 60 minutes for $147. But you better believe that if you book a one-on-one with me, I'm going to make sure that you learn how to do this yourself. Because I'm not here to be a guru. I'm not here to say I can only do it. I want to make sure that after the call, you're like, okay, cool, I could do this too. Because eventually I need you to be able to do this yourself. I need you to be able to know exactly what your pain is so that you know exactly how to heal it. And not only can you do this for yourself, but for your husband, your children, your mom, your dad, right? Your uncles. This is where we need everybody to be. Everybody needs this information. How to get answers in seconds. That is your birthright. That is your gift. That was never taken away from you. I'm just here to help people remember. All right? All right, everyone. I love you. Thank you guys for watching. Who's ever on Facebook and YouTube. I'm on a bunch of screens. If you do have questions, you guys reach out to me. Again, go follow my YouTube channel at Heather Ashley Jones. You can watch live trainings where I actually do this with people. It's so powerful. So powerful. You're so welcome, Catherine. All right, guys, have an amazing weekend. Don't forget to jump on my TikTok tomorrow and wish me a happy birthday. Okay, I am aging backwards. I will teach you how to do that in Spiritual Mastery, but I know I look like I'm 22. Thank you. But come wish me a happy birthday tomorrow. I would love that. That would mean the world to me. And for my birthday, I want you to get my free guide and share it with as many people you know who are suffering, who are needing help. Okay, that will be my gift if you could do that for me. All right, bye guys. Love you.